Hi everybody, this is Derek Kalin from the Peace Tech Lab, and this is a tutorial on how to take your Android application and publish it on the Google Play Store. I'm going to take my old video game application and publish it on Google Play as a demo for you to follow along, and hopefully by the end of this video you should be able to do the same yourself. So with that, let's get into it. This video assumes that you already have an APK file and a Google account. Google accounts are free to set up. They take 5 minutes. Just go to google.com and register yourself as a new user if you haven't done that basic step already. Once you've done that, go to Google, open up a search window and search for Google Play Developer Console. And click on the first link that you see. This opening page is very simple. It basically says that you are going to abide by the Google Play Developer Distribution Agreement. After clicking Yes, I agree, you continue to a page that asks you to make this payment using a credit card. Now, assuming that you can all pay for that, you would just go through this screen and then you get to the developer console itself. And this is the place where you upload your APKs and manage the store experience of your users. And the very first step is to name your application. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to call it Peace Tech App! Exclamation point to indicate excitement. And it gives you the option of starting to build out your Google Play experience by uploading an APK or by preparing the store listing, basically customizing the website where users can download the app. Let's start with the APK. Okay, by clicking on that button, we're taken to the Peace Tech App page on the Google Play Developer Console. And we're given a checklist on this left-hand side of things that we need to go through in order to publish our app on Google Play. You can see that the first step is the APK, and then the other main activities with check boxes next to them are preparing the store listing, going through the content rating process, and that's very simply saying that your app is something that all users can interact with. And then determining the pricing and distribution, whether you want your app to be free or have it be a paid experience. Okay, so our first step now is to upload a version of our application to the Google Play Developer Console that Google is then able to publish on the Google Play Store. Now, this is actually the hardest part for a lot of users because for the most part, if you're developing an application, you're probably developing it in something called debug mode, which is an unsigned, unverified version, which is fine for one-on-one testing or installing on our own devices, but is not secure enough for broad public release. I'm going to show you the process of signing your APK in a development environment called Android Studio, which is the Google authorized version of an Android creation tool. But you might have a number of other development environments, Eclipse, whatever. I'm hopeful that by showing you the signing process in Android Development Studio, you will see something that's familiar inside your own development environment. And if that's not the case, please reach out to us at the Peace Tech Lab and we can help you figure out how to sign the application in your own development environment. But for now, let me go through the process and you can see what signing looks like in Android Studio. So this is Android Studio and I have my default demo app that just says Hello World in it. If you go to the Build option in the menu and go down to Generate Signed APK, it'll give you the option, a little wizard for creating an APK that you can then publish on the Google Play Store. Now, I've already done this before and I just deleted the process so I can start from scratch. You're going to need something called a key store. And a key store is basically a little private file that gets attached to your application that makes it a signed, verified version that Google Play likes. you have the option to create a new key store, and the first step is choosing where you're going to save this little file. I'm just going to save it, why not, to my Dropbox folder here, and I'm going to call it key store. Now you have to come up with a couple of passwords. I'm creating a very simple password for this example. I'm calling it my Android key, and coming up with a second password that will be available. So there's a key password and a key store password. Honestly, I don't know why you have to come up with both, but just remember that there's a difference between your key password and your key store password. Write these down and try to keep them secure. And then I'm going to put down my personal information. And I hit OK. Now, it fills out all this information. I click Next, and I say that my build type is going to be in release mode. All right? Not debug mode, release mode. And I click Finish. Now you have to go through one additional step for publishing your application on the Google Play Store, which is called zip enabling it. And zip enabling it basically is making sure that your application is as efficient as possible to take up as little space as possible. So what you do in the Android Studio is right-click on your application in the project window, and you go down something called Open Module Settings. And you're given a little project structure window where you can customize a couple of different things. I'm going to go over to signing. I'm going to create a new signing signature called config. And here's where I fill out all the information that was attached to my key store. So I call this my Android key. I give my password. I'm going to identify where the key store is signed by the key store, and then I'm going to call my store password. And for the record, never ever make your passwords test, test, and to test, test. This is purely for tutorial purposes. I'm going to say, okay. Oh, no, I'm not. There's going to be one more thing. I'm going to go over to build types, and I'm going to find this option called Zip Align Enabled. I'm going to make sure this says true. All right. This will make sure that when you're creating your app, you're creating it in that exact format which Google Play likes. So I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to build my signed APK again so it's in the right format. Make sure it's release mode, hit finish, and wait for it to build. And voila, it shows that it's made in Explorer. And you can see our brand new app release.apk. So, this is great. This is exactly what we need. Let's go ahead and upload it to the Google Play Store. So I dismiss this error, upload another APK, and I navigate to where my app in its release form exists. And now, when I hit upload, it should say, ba-boom, it's ready to go. Okay, so as of right now, our app is supported by more than 12,000 devices and excluded from 0. Tells us that version 1.0 has been uploaded as of this date, and that it currently is in draft mode. And here's a few more details if you wanted to click into that. We've finished the first step out of 4 for publishing our app, so let's get to the other 3. Next we go to the store listing page, and the store listing page, again, is the page in Google Play that gives your audience all the information they need to know that your app is the one that they need. So we're working on the English version. If you have an app in multiple languages, you can provide it in as many different languages as you like. English, Dari, Pashto, Arabic, whatever. Here's the title of your app, which is called, in our case, the Peace-Tech app. The first box that you have to fill out is something called a short description, which is basically what a user sees about your app before they click on it in the Google Play Store. So it's a very short summary of what your application is all about. This app makes peace tech technology awesome. Next, you have to fill out a full description, and the full description is the text that you see on Google Play. Here, let me load up a version right now that you can see. Okay, here's an example application. It's a chess app. The title of the app is Chess. And if you scroll down, this block of text right here describes what the app is. That is what your full description is. You want to be as detailed as possible in this description. And remember that when search engines are looking for your application, they're going to draw from this full description here. So be as descriptive as possible of the features of your application, what you'd like it to do, who your target audience is, as much information as you can provide in this section so that your users know what they're getting. Now, a big part of making your application appealing to your audience is having graphical assets. So the first step is to add screenshots of your application in use. I have a folder on my desktop of screenshots of a video game I made. I'm gonna upload a picture here, upload another picture here, upload a third one. Then you need a high-res icon, and this needs to either it needs to be in PNG format, the format with transparent background, and the dimensions need to be 512 by 512. So if I go to my desktop, I should have a version of that. Here's my 512 by 512 app. There's a feature graphic, which basically is the image that you want to display if Google decides to showcase your application on the Google Play Store. That needs to be 1024 by 500. And then there's a promo graphic, which is another version of the same thing. And that needs to be 180 by 120. It's a smaller version. Then you also need a TV banner, 1280 by 720. Then you have a promo video. This is where you can make a YouTube video and attach it to your file. Here's the part where you describe your app in a little bit more detail. So you say it's an application type, application, a category of communication, for example. You say that this app is for everybody, and then you go into the rest of the details. Provide a website. This is where you would put in your own website's information or the website of your project. A contact email that people can use to tell you if there are any problems, or write you an email about how excited they are to use your application, and a phone number if you want to provide it. Save our store listing. Now you'll see our store listing is green as well. And finally, Alright, now we said that our app was for everyone, but we're actually going to have to go through the content rating page. So click on content rating. And agree to go through the basic content rating process. So we click continue. We provide our email address, confirm it so they can reach out to us and say, yeah, everything's okay. And we select our category. So in this case, it's reference. We're not containing any violent material. We're not containing any sexual content. The language that we're using is kind and friendly and has no offensive languages. We're not referencing the use of illegal drugs. Does the app natively allow users to interact or exchange contact with others? This is important. So if you have an application where people can chat with each other, it's possible that they could say something offensive to each other, and your user needs to be aware of that. Does the app provide any user-provided information with third parties? This is super important. If people are registering with you, and then you share that information with a company or with the government, there could be security implications to that. So be honest about whether that's the case. Does the app share the user's current physical location to other users? This is a security issue. And in our case, no. And does the app allow users to purchase digital goods? We say no, click save for our questionnaire, calculate the rating, and assuming that all that we've said is accurate, it gives us rating categories for all the different countries that we said that we're interested in. And finally, we have to manage the pricing and distribution. In our case, we're saying this thing is free. Now, if we were trying to pay for it, we need to set up a merchant account. That's the subject for another tutorial video, so I'm not going to go into it right now. And we got to say which countries that we're interested in. We're saying that this application meets content guidelines, and that we believe that it is not harmful, that it's not fraudulent, that users can use this securely, basically all the components that you need to have a good app unlocked. And if we save the draft, we should get a green check mark. Now we are free to publish. And if I clicked publish right now, it'll say, hooray, we're processing your update. And within a few hours, your app will be live online. That's it. That's the process of submitting an app for the Google Play Store. Okay, so this has been a long video, and I hope that it answers your basic questions for publishing on Google Play. Please feel free to reach out to us at the Peace-Tech Lab if you have any additional questions about how to publish your app on the Google Play Store. We're more than happy to help you get this process rolling. And thanks so much for watching. I hope your publishing process goes well.